Hi. In a previous video, we looked at migration to AWS and started with planning of application migrations using the Application Discovery Service or ADS. In this video, we will go to the next logical step of migrating actual workloads to AWS. We will use a tool called Cloud Endure. It was a third-party tool that was acquired by AWS a couple of years ago. And this is the tool that allows you to migrate workloads by identifying the underlying servers that run those workloads and doing continuous block replication of those servers. And this tool allows you to move any type of workload, simple, complex, to AWS by doing minimum disruption or downtime. My name is Raghuveer Varahagiri, and this is Hands on AWS. If you have done the previous lab demo, you would have already set up the environment. If not, you can use the cloud formation template provided here in this link to download and provision all the environment that is required for this demo. The demo environment consists of a VPC with a private subnet that simulates and serves as a proxy for a corporate data center. It runs two applications running on one application and one database server each. And there is a Bastion host, which is a Windows server that lets you remotely access those servers, even though they are in a private subnet. We will use this as a source environment and migrate that to the target cloud environment using Cloud Endure. So one of the first steps that you will do is to register on Cloud Endure website and create a profile there. You will use this URL to register for the account. You will have to provide a working email address and confirm that. And once you do, you will be able to log in into the console and then set up a Cloud Endure project. I have already registered, so I will be able to show you how you set up a project on Cloud Endure. All right, let me sign into my Cloud Endure environment. All right, you click on this create new project button and give it a new name and click create project. You click on continue, and here is where you're expected to provide a set of AWS credentials that lets Cloud Endure connect to your AWS environment to provision the target environment. So let's switch to the AWS Management Console and go to IAM. If you have used the CloudFormation template to provision the lab environment, it would have automatically created a couple of users. One of them is the Cloud Endure user. And here you would go and create security credentials by clicking on create access key, and then you would download a CSV file that gives you the secret access key and the access key ID. I have already done that. So I have downloaded the CSV and here are my credentials that I will use. So let me copy these credentials and go to the Cloud Endure console. I'm plugging in the AWS access key ID and the secret access key. And click on save. All right. Now that the project is set up with your AWS credentials, you are ready to set up the replication settings. Here is where you tell Cloud Endure what is the source of your migration and what is the target. Remember, we have on-prem data center, which we are simulating using an AWS VPC. But when you're doing it in reality, you will be using a source that is other than AWS. So we will use the same thing here, other infrastructure. And the migration target would be the region in which you are provisioning the target environment, which is Oregon US West 2 in this case. All right. And the subnet where those replication target instances will be launched will need to be selected here. So here you select a subnet that has target public. All right. The rest of the settings are about the replication instances that Cloud Endure will create, which are temporary small size instances that will be used to make a copy of your on-prem servers. They will be deleted when the migration is over. So if you have any particular preference on the converter image sizes, etc., you can select them here. Otherwise, you can leave them as default. Now you can save these replication settings, and the replication project setup is complete. Now you can close. Now the next thing you do after setting up the Cloud Endure replication project is to go to your on-prem servers and install the Cloud Endure agent. In order to do that, we will log into the Bastion server and then access each of the 4 application servers here. The Bastion server is accessible based on the outputs in your CloudFormation lab template. So use these to do remote desktop login. So let me open remote desktop connection. I have IP address, connecting to administrator. This is password. All right. Let me copy it without the trailing space. Say yes. All right. So all right. Let's get rid of this and open a fresh notepad. Let's copy these details there for reference. All these servers are automatically set up when you provision the CloudFormation template on the PuTTY tool on the Bastion server. So when you open this, you will be able to see all four of these servers. So we will need to open all these. Remember, the password for each of these is the same, and that is this one, AWS MID 20. So let me copy that here. Because you'll be doing the same steps of installing the Cloud Endure agent on all four servers, I would recommend opening all the servers in PuTTY and keeping them side by side so you can run the same commands on four servers one after the other easily. All right, we have all four servers open in PuTTY. When you go back to your Cloud Endure console, you will have a tab called Machines, and there are instructions on how to add machines to your Cloud Endure project. And there is an agent installation token, and you have ready-made commands with that token specified as a parameter to download and install the Cloud Endure agent, depending on whether you have Linux or Windows machines. Since all four of our servers in the demo environment are Linux, let us copy this, which is specific to our Cloud Endure project, and go back to our Bastion host and copy this, right? So starting with downloading the agent, we'll copy this wget command, run it here, here, oops. All right. So we have the installer downloaded to all four machines. Now we have to install it in all four machines. Copy that. The install is running. All right. Let's give it a minute and it should get installed in all four servers. Now the agent installation has completed successfully on all four servers. As soon as these agents are installed, they contact the Cloud Endure servers, and then using the project credentials, they will connect to the Cloud Endure service, will connect to your AWS account and start creating replication servers. You can monitor the progress from the Cloud Endure dashboard. So here you can see that the machines have started showing up. So let us see what's happening on OffBizDB server. It's reporting an error. OffBizDB. So we see that one of the servers is reporting a failure. When you click on the error for details, we see that the replication initiation has been stalled. So, like I was saying, when you install a Cloud Endure agent on your on-prem servers, it contacts the Cloud Endure service and then uses the Cloud Endure project settings that you have to connect to your AWS account and create the replication server infrastructure. That involves creating of firewall rules, creating the replication server itself, booting it up, and then connecting to the Cloud Endure service from that replication server, and then downloading the Cloud Endure replication software to that replication server, and then start creating the disks and then doing the actual application from the source. Here it is reporting an error in downloading the Cloud Endure replication software to the replication server. So let me troubleshoot. In the meantime, if you want, you can go to your console, AWS Management Console as well, and then monitor the creation of the replication instances in your AWS target region. So you can see that there is something called Cloud Endure Replication Server that has just been launched, and it is already running. Let's go back and troubleshoot this. All right, we were able to successfully resolve the error, and now the server has connected to the Cloud Endure, the replication server, and the replication has started for that for server as well. The issue was some missing C++ libraries, and we were able to resolve that by reinstalling those libraries and then reinstalling the Cloud Endure agent. In the Cloud Endure agent, you can monitor the progress of the replication of each of these, and the initial copy of the server to the replication server would obviously take long time. So till that is happening, the migration lifecycle shows the status as not ready. And once it is done with this last step of the initial sync, you will see the status as continuous data replication. You will have to wait till all of your on-prem servers where you have installed your Cloud Endure agent to reach the status of continuous data replication before you can attempt to do the actual migration testing or cutover. Once these servers are ready for replication, you will need to use a blueprint to instruct Cloud Endure on what kind of instances to create for each of these servers. So let us go ahead and create those blueprints now. Click on each server and it will display details of that machine, and there is a tab for blueprint. So you want to know, Cloud Endure wants to know what type of machine should you target. So for the purposes of this demo, you can select a small instance like T3 medium. And launch time can be on demand. Subnet, you will have to select target private. Security groups, select both default and target security group. And private IP address, select create new. Here the option is to copy from source. In case you want to retain the same IP address from your on-prem, you will need prior configuration of the same IP ranges in both the target VPC as in your on-prem data center. This is not recommended unless you have specific requirements or workloads that have hard-coded IP addresses, and things will break if you don't use the same IP addresses. Public IP address is not required for these private instances, so you can save this. Do the same thing for all the other on-prem servers as well, where you create a blueprint with the same set of parameters, and Cloud Endure will use that when creating the cutover target, final cutover target instances, right? So this one is ready for testing. Machine type T3 medium. Oops. Private IP, create new, public no, and you're supposed to select the type of disk that you want to provision also. All right, blueprint updated. Same thing for this. Machine type. All right. Now that you have created the blueprints for all four servers, you just have to wait for the migration lifecycle to show continuous data replication or ready for testing. While we are waiting, you can look at the dashboard. Two of the servers are in the initial sync phase where they have not yet reached continuous data replication stage, and two of them are flagged as requires attention, which is that they are ready for testing, and you can test them using the blueprint. All right. After a long pause, the continuous data replication stage has been reached for the remaining two servers as well, and we are now ready to move on to the next stage, which is doing the actual cutover or migration. So we can select one server at a time or multiple servers at a time or your entire landscape, and you can launch those machines either in test mode or on cutover mode. So as the help text describes here, when you launch in test mode, then the source machine is marked as having been tested on the state. So that is for your migration project planning purposes, and it will exactly be the same as recovery mode. And then for the cutover mode, this is the final cutover. So again, it's virtually the same thing. Only difference would be if you're using actual IP addresses, from your source machine, you have to be a bit more careful and in terms of validation and testing. So those test machines will be deleted when you do the actual cutover. For the purposes of this demo, we will go ahead and launch them in final cutover mode. So it prompts you to confirm that you are trying to launch 4 target machines, and any machines that you previously launched would be deleted during this process. You can click on continue, and it reports that target machines are being launched, and you can go to the job progress tab in order to track the status. So it has started the job at this timestamp, and it will take a while to launch those instances. If you go to your EC2 console, currently there are a bunch of existing servers. Most of them are your existing on-prem servers which are being simulated here, and one cloud and your replication server. And as the actual cutover happens, you will see that new instances have launched in your EC2 console, and once they come up, you are ready to do your validation and testing. All right, now the job has finished in about 10 minutes, and then we are ready to do validation and testing. If you go to your running instances, you will see that there are now new servers that are coming up, and these 4 servers, which have the suffix on-prem sim.env, are the servers that are launched by Cloud Endure, which are the replicas of your on-prem infrastructure. What we will do now as the next step is, after launching the target instances in cutover mode, we will go ahead and shut down the source environment, which is the app servers and DB servers for both applications in our simulation. So to do that, we'll once again go back to our Bastion host, and we will use the shutdown command, which is all right. Let's go back to our Bastion server and execute that command on all 4 of these servers. All right. What we'll do next is to update the DNS for each of the 4 new servers to use the fully qualified domain name for each of the 4 application and DB servers. For that, we will go to the EC2 console and note down the private IP address for each of the 4 servers. So here you look for this on-prem sim.env in the name, and for each of these servers we want to note down the private IP address. So let's display the private IP address and confirm. So here is the private IP address 83.81.70 and 141 for each of these servers. So let's see if you can quickly capture that in our notes. Here you go. So you have these 4 servers, WordPress DB and WordPress Web and WordPress DB, WordPress Web and DB, these 2. These are 81 and 70. All right, 70 for the DB, yep. And then you have Web and DB for off-biz servers, which is 83 and 141. 83, 141. So let us copy this to our Bastion host, Notepad. Close these, open our Notepad, paste these here. Let us open each of these servers. Once again, let's keep all four servers open so that we can execute the same commands in all places. Login as user, the same standard command, password, AWS MID20. Finally, the Office DB. Say yes, user MID20. All right, we have all four servers logged in. These are the newly created target instances in the AWS target region. And these are up and running, but the domain names are not pointing to these servers. So these applications won't be running after we shut down the source servers. Now we run the DNS update command, which I'll share with you. Here is a script. All right. This is the script that we will run in each of the four servers. So let me paste it here for reference. You can easily paste the entire block of commands and they will get executed one by one. You can right click to paste whatever is in the clipboard into your SSH shell. So this is what we do. And let's run that last command. All right. With this, the DNS update should be ready. So let's test these two applications. So if you remember, we had two applications running on our on-prem instance. One of them was the WordPress blog. The other one was Offbiz ERP application with a login. So let us take these and see if these new servers are accessible on the domain names as the original applications. Let's paste these here. Let's take the first one. There you go. Even though you have shut down your original source application and DB servers for WordPress, since you have already migrated those servers and updated the DNS, the same application is still accessible on the same URL. So with minimal downtime between the time you took down the source servers and updated the DNS, that was a minimal downtime for your business application. So let's look at Offbiz. All right, this is a non-secure site, so you might see a warning. No. All right, username is admin. Offbiz. All right. So as you can see, the business application is running and it seems to be connecting to the backend database fine and letting you use the application. So you have successfully tested and validated that after migrating all your servers, turning off your old servers, and then updating the DNS, the new workloads in the new environment are up and running fine. So a quick recap. So we started yesterday by looking at a demo of the application discovery service, which helped you discover the workloads or applications that are running on your servers on-prem and then planning for the migration. Today we looked at the Cloud Endure as a tool to do block replication of your servers from your source environment, which could be on-prem, to the target AWS environment. And like I mentioned, it is a continuous block replication service. So after doing initial copy of all the server storage into the target environment, any subsequent changes to the source server are continuously replicated by the Cloud Endure service so that your replication server has the latest snapshot of your on-prem server. So the moment you are ready to do a cutover, as long as you check that the state is in continuous data replication and ready for testing, you can be sure that an exact copy of your source environment is available in Cloud Endure for cutover. So you do the migration cutover and then shut down the source environment, and then you update any DNS entries required to make sure that other applications or users can still access those applications using the same domain names, but running on the new servers. And then you do your production validation, and that would be the end of your successful migration. Hope it was a very useful demo, and we'll look at next steps in terms of doing database migrations. If your strategy is re-platform instead of re-host, where you are trying to migrate a self-managed database to a managed service like RDS using database migration service or DMS in a subsequent demo. Thank you and have a great day.